So today's video is going to be like an evolve slash downfall slash I don't know. It's gonna be talking about Mollie May. So let's just get into what we're going to be talking about. This is sort of a my thoughts kind of thing, but also evolve slash talk about the downfall slash whatever it is you would like to call it. So just get in. Mollie May, one of her videos popped up on my recommended, as a lot of creators sort of do. Pop up on my recommended on YouTube. First video I watched, I'm pretty sure it was her recreating her Love Island hairstyles. Gonna be talking from like an objective point, but also giving my own thoughts, and there's so many like... We're gonna be going on a bit of a tangent, but I guess most videos are like that. So Mollie May is a 22-year-old influencer, born on the 26th of May 1999. To be honest, I didn't know whether she looked older for 22 or young. 22, I'm just not sure. All I'll say, she's stunning. Though when you are on social media, there are things that influencers should use their platforms to talk about, like political and social issues. It's kind of the whole debate, like, should influencers have to talk about political and social issues if they don't want to talk about them? Personally, I think it should be up to the influencer, because this sort of thing, influencers feeling like they have to talk about things that they don't necessarily understand, I think contributes to a lot of these mistakes that you get with influencers, and that's definitely like the case with Mollie May, you can tell. Like, you sort of will have this stuff happening because influencers feel like they need to talk about something that they're maybe not educated on or don't have the life experience, and then they make mistakes. In terms of financial struggles, you can really tell that Mollie May is not the most educated on. She grew up in a middle-class household and is now a millionaire. So financial stress has not been a big part of her life. Not saying that she's never had that, because she talks about when she first moved to Manchester that she could barely afford rent. So it's been a part of her life, but not like a massive part. So when she does talk about stuff that are like related to like financial struggles and some of the stuff she did say on the podcast, sort of doesn't sit right with people. Don't think she should be cancelled and end of her career. Like, people should be cancelled for way worse things. Do understand why people give the criticism. Is sort of sometimes like constructive criticism, since it's to help improve and make her become a better person. And also remind her of the truths that not everyone has the same privileges she's had. She's a white woman and is conventionally beautiful, is the conventional beauty standards, blonde, slim, white, blue-eyed. Even though white is a beauty standard, like, I really don't know. As a teenager, Mollie May took part in beauty pageants and won Miss Teen in 2015, as well as World Teen Supermodel in 2016, an award first runner-up in an international competition. Beauty pageants do suggest that you grew up in a really privileged household. That sort of thing does involve around beauty standards. Though for Mollie May, this definitely gives her a unique opportunity and unique experiences. Then Mollie May became a YouTuber and Instagrammer. Being a lifestyle beauty fashion vlogger is easy when you are seen as conventionally attractive. 2019, Mollie May entered the 5th series of Love Island. Personally, not my thing. I really don't care, but Mollie May is conventionally attractive. But there are others who aren't conventionally attractive. So, can't really say that she's the only one who's conventionally attractive. Like, there are loads of people that fit the conventionally attractive thing. Though on Love Island you see a lot of the beauty standard, and you see, because of that, very few people of colour, very few plus-sized, bigger people, which should not be the case. Mollie-Mae did get a lot of hate on Love Island. The audience who watches Love Island has figured out no one really goes on for love. They go on for many other reasons. Because people would go on Love Island for love. It shows they don't find like real love because they are forcing it. Not people that go on Island desperate for love enter relationships that perhaps don't fully fit them and fully fulfill them, and it just doesn't work. Mollie-Mae has revealed that she didn't go on Love Island for love. She went on for a career boost. Mollie-Mae and Tommy definitely is the only Love Island relationship that I know of that actually lasted. It works definitely because she found love and she also boosted her career, which also made her relationship more healthy because she wasn't desperate for love, she wasn't actively searching for love. Love just came on by accident. After coming out of Love Island, Mollie-Mae reportedly signed a £500,000 deal. That's the number there, if you can see, because I probably said it wrong. Deal with Pretty Little Thing. On August the 21st, 2021, Mollie-Mae was hired as Pretty Little Thing's creative director, after previously being a brand ambassador. Mollie-Mae also launched her self-tanning range and did sponsorship deals with Starbucks. Mollie-Mae on a YouTube does talk about trust with her audience. When Mollie-Mae finishes Love Island, she carries on being an influencer and has a manager. Her manager, Fran. Mollie-Mae's parents, from what I've found from research, reached out to Fran, and Fran got her all these deals with different brands because her family were inundated with email. Fran got her all these deals with different brands. Fran said, I have all these offers, and she took Pretty Little Thing's offer. You can tell Mollie-Mae has worked with Pretty Little Thing and she likes the brand and believes in the brand. Mollie-Mae did a video a little while ago with her manager on what's it like behind the scenes and what's it. Influencers complaining does grind people's gears, but that doesn't mean they deserve to be trolled. The criticism, unless it's like constructive, really isn't served, but the money kind of does make it seem worth it. So Mollie-Mae, her content's definitely not the most relatable. Her YouTube's relatable. Her Instagram's probably not the most relatable. But I don't look at Instagram. I don't follow on Instagram, so I wouldn't really know. Like, I don't really religiously watch her content. I just watch it. If a video pops up that I like, I will go click on it. Mollie-Mae, instead of going to regular sixth form or college, she went to fashion college, which is a privileged position. But if you have the opportunity, just go for it. Whatever you want to do in life, everyone's path in life's different. And we'll say no more on that. Also, people have different lives and different upbringings. Not everyone has the same privileges that she necessarily has. But those are just kind of my thoughts. It's kind of going off on a bit of a tangent because there's so many different directions that you can have this go in. I can understand why people see it as privileged because getting the train is expensive. So from the age of 16 to 18, our parents probably did fund that. Is privileged because most people go to the local sixth form or the local college. This video is going to be rather chaotic because there's so many points to be made. There's so many different tangents you can go down. Until researching, I didn't really know that much about Mollie-Mae. I wouldn't say she's a bad person. We just all have different life experiences, and obviously you can educate yourself, but not everyone is educated on everything. Mollie May's definitely made the most of her fame from Love Island. Didn't stop to think because everyone would have forgotten her by then. That from Love Island, that most people sort of aren't really that famous. And sort of hasn't really, their fame sort of went just like that. Like they sort of went from being famous to kind of back to where they were before, sort of thing. Like doing these sponsorships that they barely make money, and or going back to regular jobs. Mollie May and Tommy are the only ones that I'm still aware of from Love Island. She was definitely, after coming out of Love Island, stayed on her own path, like carried on being an influencer and that. She did work hard with sort of producing the content and that, and sort of worked hard and was given all these opportunities. I like her content. It is entertaining to watch, even though the kind of content you watch because of her lifestyle and seeing the aspirational lifestyle and seeing her travel to all these different places around the world. People see her talking about all these expensive things she owns. She's had a Starbucks deal. No other influencer I know of has had a Starbucks deal. She works with Starbucks because she generally likes Starbucks. I really do get behind with any influencer who works with brands they truly love. She's done hair tools with Beauty Works. She's known for big, bouncy, soft curls and having extensions. Mollie May was a brand ambassador for Pretty Little Thing, then became the creative director. So it's not out of the blue, but it's definitely, to be honest, I didn't really expect it. But then she had, gonna tread carefully here, she had her house broken into, which got very mixed reactions. Audience and those who watch her were like very understanding, but trolls probably didn't like it. She did talk about the fact how she did show everything and how she needs to be more cautious. She came back and everything was stolen. She moved out straight away. You can tell she had shown everything. So, I don't know on that situation. Like, she has become more cautious. Like, she doesn't show hardly anything of the house, and expensive possessions has toned down on. She said in a video that it's made her learn and make sure she's being as safe as possible, though no one deserves to have their house broken into. The content she posts on YouTube, your audience does tend to see. Instagram, it does push out to more people, but she's one of those where on YouTube and Instagram, it's not just her audience watching them. It's very easy for it to be, once it's published, anybody can watch her content. She's pushed out to new people like continuously. So it means loads of people, and she now shows nothing of the house, and it's a part of her life that no one really sees. Being the creative director doesn't surprise me. I don't have a particularly strong opinion. Not out of the blue, because she was a brand ambassador before becoming the creative director. Media hates have shifted from Love Island, where she got so much hate, and then it dies down and then it's more prominent again. After becoming the creative director, people just really dislike her again. People think she's not qualified enough for the role, and other people have done much more work in education than she's done. And she only got it because she was an influencer and was on Love Island. Kind of agree, kind of don't. Obviously, she's privileged, but she did go to fashion college, so that is a form of education. Admittedly, people yet have degrees, but she has been a brand ambassador and gone to fashion college, and she's worked with Pretty Little Thing, so it's not out there, out of the blue. I know to some people it is upsetting because people have got degrees and they don't get those same type of opportunities because they're just a random person with a degree. They're not Mollie May. Mollie May, you can definitely tell that she's not a sellout. even though she did go on to Love Island for a business move. It has gone from being like middle class to a millionaire. But she has obviously struggled with like trolls and the press taking unflattering photos and them posting unflattering photos. This is valid because it's difficult and no one really tells you how to deal with the press, how to deal with that stuff. Like, you don't expect to get like mobbed in the street. People would just kill not to struggle. But I do see both ways. She is actively trying to avoid to make those mistakes. And then the clip blew up of her making a mistake. She talked in the podcast about how when she hasn't had a scandal, she thinks, I'm going to say something wrong, which will get me cancelled. She mentions is an unrealistic standard, which I can definitely see, but I can see that people are giving constructive criticism at times. She did a series on her channel where she removed her filler, which was inspirational and inspired people, a lot of her audience, in particular young women, to go natural to get their filler removed. Definitely because it gives an unrealistic standard. Instagram sets unrealistic standards, so I do respect the more natural look. Plastic surgery is not for me, but if you do want to get plastic surgery, do it, but don't do it because of Instagram. Stephen Bartlett, the host of the podcast, really inspirational man, says that she doesn't have to talk about things that she's not educated enough on and doesn't understand, but she did, but it didn't pay off. Obviously, for all of the stuff we don't understand, we definitely do need to make sure that we understand the Obviously, we all have stuff we don't understand, but we do need to make sure that we understand a subject well enough before talking about it, especially on the internet. Though truly there are people who work as hard as Mollie May who will never be as rich and as successful as Mollie May. At the end of the day, not everyone will be a millionaire, but loads of people do work as hard as Mollie May. But also success is relative. Like, everyone has their own ideas of success. Though on the podcast she did make good points about Instagram being just a highlights reel. She does talk about how hard it is for young people to enter the property ladder, and that she's privileged and can enter the property ladder in like the big major cities and that. And how there'll be people who never are able to buy a house unless they move outside of London and all the big major cities. Because buying a house in London is very expensive and wages are not high enough to meet the expenses of buying a house and household bills. That's something I can respect. She does talk about cars and wanting a G-Wagon, and she talks about that, how it's very extra for a first car. But she does get a Range Rover, which is also very extra for a first car. Range Rovers are not an attainable car, but everyone's first car is different. She knows what she wants, and though it doesn't always come across in her head how she wants it to come across, like in her head it comes across differently to how it comes across on camera. If you watch the whole podcast, it will make you angry, but there is context, whereas if you just watch the TikTok clips without context, it will make you furious. So, hope this was somewhat of a good video. I hope this turned out relatively making sense, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope that it wasn't too long. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.